about, since the shelters will not be open in the area, where should people go? What should they do?
Well, first and foremost, one of the big things we're trying to do is protect people from the amount of winds, rains, and storm surge that we're having here. So our recommendation is, for people to go inland, to go west of at least Greensboro, North Carolina. For those people that are needing shelter, we're working with our Citizens Phone Bank, which people can call at 910-989-5027. So that if you need transportation out of the county, that you can make contact with us there. We will have rally points with the county so that we can get people on buses and start moving them out of the county tomorrow morning. Now, if people do not know where they want to go, and they do not want to stay at a shelter, they can still contact that same number. We can give them recommendations to go inland. But right this moment, we're looking for a lot of people, if there's family, relatives, anywhere that they can go other than here. I know a lot of people are worried about their own possessions and their property, but at this point in time, this storm is dangerous enough. We're looking at loss of roofs off of tops of houses. There may not be a place that is really and truly safe in Onslow County to be. So that's the reason we're recommending that people leave.
When did you guys make this decision?
This morning.
Yeah, that decision was made this morning.
So is there, for all of Onslow County, is there different areas where you can say exactly here is the line between if you stay, this is where your life will be in danger, and if you stay, this is where only your house or your possessions will be?
At this point in time, you have to consider anywhere in Onslow County you could be in danger. I mean, we're looking at fallen trees, we're looking at roofs coming off houses, we could be looking at 17 to 20 inches of storm surge along our coastline and up our rivers. And these numbers are things that we're looking from the National Weather Service, and we're also looking at previous storms such as Hazel and Katrina, and these are some of the very same effects that we're seeing. People need to understand we could be seeing Katrina-like effects and worse here in Onslow County if this storm takes the track that it's taking.
So you're saying that if it continues along this track, people's lives in Onslow County are at risk?
Yes.
Does this mandatory evacuation apply to only unincorporated Onslow County, or what about areas like Jacksonville and Swansboro that have their own jurisdiction, but nonetheless are in the same area?
I will defer that one to the manager.
Okay.
That's an excellent question. It does only include the unincorporated areas.
We're going to have to wait till you have your mic.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it'll just save time,
Yeah.
to be fair.
I'll defer that one to him.
Okay.
Pick up another question.
I mean, that was my main one, and then also, are people, I mean, Christina got it, but should people be concerned for their lives and well-being if they're here in Onslow County?
Yes, they should. I mean, this is a very dangerous storm, and yes, I know people are thinking that this track could change, and there is a possibility between now and the next 48 hours this track can change. However, based off the information we're looking at, we just got another update, and that line has not changed off of Onslow County. We're still the center of the eye of this storm, which is a very dangerous situation and place to be in.
What should people do to their homes before they leave?
They should look at boarding up their windows and doors. They should look at cleaning up any yard debris from flying debris. They need to make sure when they are leaving here, that they're carrying any kind of insurance paperwork, anything that is with far as birth certificates, diplomas, any of their important paperwork needs to go with them. They need to also be prepared that it may be a long time before they can get back into the county.
How long could you estimate?
At this point in time, it's not easy for me to say. If we looked at Floyd-type situations, I-40 was shut down for up to 2 weeks after Hurricane Floyd went through.
What about people's vehicles? Last question. Are vehicles at risk for being floating away?
Yes, we recommend if any vehicles you have, you get in those vehicles and you take them with you and you leave.
So I know.
For those who are choosing to stay, how does a mandatory evacuation affect first responders getting help to them?
In this type of situation, if we're looking at 140-mile-an-hour winds, we're looking at high storm surge, emergency responders may not be able to get to you. This is a situation that you need to make a decision, and if you just choose to stay, and we're urging you not to, that you may be with no help coming for a long period of time.
Okay.
When you're talking about the life-threatening storm surge, I came in a little bit late. What exactly are we looking at as far as how high it is?
You're talking 17 to 20 feet possibly, and that's above ground level. That is not sea level. That's above ground level. So you're looking at a significant amount of area in this county that could be flooded. And to give you an example of that, areas such as in downtown Jacksonville, you could be looking at waters at 4 feet in and around the jail, 3 feet in and around the public safety building in the downtown area. You're talking about in areas such as Queens Creek, 17 to 20 foot of water. You're looking in the downtown Swansboro area, most of their gazebos and stuff they have in the downtown area will be underwater. Most of North Topsail, you're looking at their town hall of the water getting almost to the second floor. This is the amount of water that we're talking about that with the storm surge coming into this county.
Last question from Mr. Norman.
Yeah. So I know you talked about boarding up windows before. Is there something that people who don't live in a house, where they don't own the house, or if they live in an apartment, is there something they can be doing if they don't have permission to?
They need to be talking with their rental agencies, who they rent with. Those rental agencies would want to be trying to protect their properties as well, because that is going to be the future. I mean, some things we have to look into is the resiliency after this storm comes through, because there may be a lot of properties that are destroyed, and we may have to be looking at what is left when we get back and what we can actually have livable and habitable afterwards.
And then my other question is, will putting furniture and expensive things in closets help, and like up above?
That entirely depends on where you're at. I mean, it depends on if you're in a flood zone, if you're in areas that may see flooding. The last time we saw a 20 inches of rain was in Tropical Storm Nicole, and that was only sectioned mainly around the areas of Swansboro. We saw areas that flooded then that had never flooded before. So at 20 inches of rain, we're not exactly sure what that would mean for areas other than Sneed's Ferry, Richlands. We know these communities from previous storms will get cut off, but to your question, anything that people can do to protect their properties and stuff is essential. But however, the first thing we want to urge them is to protect life first.
So with that being said, if people do choose to stay and they run out of food and water, what do they do?
At that point in time, there may not be any communications to be able to get back into the county to let people know that you're in that situation. I mean, this is a situation, and we're urging. Now, I'm not going to even begin to sit here and say that people need, if you're going to stay, this is what you need to do. What they need to do is leave.
All right, so we'll switch over to Mr. Cotton.